My name's Oscar.
My name is Carl,
and this is Who Would Watch This? Or WWWT.
December, January.
What we watch this Jan and December.
December.
It rolls off the tongue.
It's what we watched.
It's what we're watching. It's what we've been watching. We're doing video, so sometimes we need a little week to give us a little bit of like what we're up to.
And people do keep on asking, what are you watching?
Yeah.
And also, we just don't really do a palate cleanser anymore.
No.
So it's nice to not be complaining all the time.
Exactly. We love film, guys. Check out our Letterboxd. It's in the goddamn description. We're always watching things. And we just thought, we'd give you a
Except
little...
at the moment, kind of not. I'm having a bit of an off movie time.
We're spreading it over.
Yeah.
Carl, what we've been watching, it's been the tennis, because it just happened. Wow. Electric. We're a tennis
Everybody comes
podcast
here
now.
for sport commentary.
Believe it or not, guys, we're mainly sport heads, really.
Yeah.
This is kind of a side gig of a hobby. But really, our main hobby, tennis.
If you want to know why the tennis was so electric last night, it's because when the head of Kia was doing his big 10-minute speech not about tennis, somebody called it boring, and it was a big laugh.
It was kind of electric.
It was really alive.
It's really what the sport's all about, mocking the main sponsor. And it really took the way... I immediately went out and bought a Subaru. Yeah. Like, it just took out a Kia.
It was pathetic. I was like, wow. Some guy in the crowd at the far back of the stadium absolutely cut the knees off an entire company live on TV. I was like, this is real power. This is the people fighting back.
This feels nice. It really feels at the end of capitalism because, quite frankly, Kia's done. I checked their stock this morning. Zero.
I Molotoved my Kia this morning. I was like, no more. Because the resale value also completely dipped.
Oh my God. They were just like, you give me garbage? How about you give me 40 grand so I can take that shit heap off your hands, Fuck Kia. Unless they want to sponsor this podcast, maybe they're that
I will love you, Kia.
Maybe they're that low at the moment. They can go, you know what? We can finally have to go the worst space.
They keep reaching out to us. We'll finally have to give in.
We'll have to take.
If you don't know what a Kia is, it's a car.
It's a car. That's all we know.
International. Well, no, Kia's international as a brand, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know a lot.
No.
So sometimes I like to check.
Yeah. Guys, there's this automobile and it's sweeping the nation.
I think it's just because Kia was the heavy sponsor for the Australian Open. My assumption is that an Australian brand supporting the Australian Open.
I think it's Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the Australian brand company for cars? Holden? Was that?
Yeah, and that went under, I think.
Classic.
Yeah.
Not shocked.
No. Goodness.
Not shocked.
Yeah.
Never saw a Holden in my life. Never bought one. Can't afford any car, if I'm being honest.
When I had business, I think like 10 years ago, you're just like, I would have never thought about purchasing a Holden back then.
Yeah, when I was just 18, buying a brand new Holden. Yeah.
I'll be honest, honestly, a fresh 18-year-old buying a Holden is quite a popular thing to do, so you wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah, well, sorry, I don't know how to be 18.
Yeah. No, I didn't sign up for a high lease car. You fucked up. You failed as being a teen. You're nothing. Carl, should we get into some movies?
Yeah, I think we should. Would you like to go first?
I mean, let's just start with, we're doing a bit of rat-tat-tat. Should we get into The Housemaiden?
Let's get into The Housemaid.
Housemaid, my mistake.
Yeah.
I keep calling it that.
The Housemaiden's the Park Chan-wook film.
Yes.
You seen that one?
I want to. I love the poster.
It's really good.
God, I want to see it. Oh, The Housemaid.
Oh, wow. What an electric time.
It was an electric time.
Electric really is our word today. I'm going to find another word. Look, The Housemaid was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
We both read it
for
book club.
Read it for book club. It was a very fun book to read. I think the twist alone doesn't, I wouldn't say it's a bit of a silly book, but that sort of definitely elevated it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can tell why it was a popular book. It's a real page turner of a book.
Yeah.
A really fast paced.
Very page ending with just like, who's around the corner. You're like,
it's definitely like a book that's like manufactured to be like the dumbed down Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Just in the sense that it doesn't really have anything to say about anything, but it is a good fast paced read.
Yeah.
At least Gone Girl does have more to say. But speaking of the adaptation, let's talk about the film. So we've got Paul Feig as the director. He's coming hot off. He did that movie for Amazon with John Cena and Aquafina.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. It's got
Look,
a big
he's coming off
explosion.
a not a great
much,
streak.
not much, yeah.
He also did like the school for wicked and evil and vile people.
Yes.
You know that one. Let's talk. His good ones are Bridesmaid, The Heat, and
Spy?
Spy.
Yeah.
I think those three are really good.
I feel like he does a lot of producing. I feel like he produced Freaks and Geeks. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, he directed Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, yeah, and a bunch of the Office as well.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like.
He's a good comedy director
Yeah,
for sure.
totally.
So interesting to see him straight up do a thriller. I guess he did A Simple Favor, which is a lot lighter than The Housemaid, but I think he brought the same campiness, which I thought was a smart way to take the book. I don't think we're going to be able to talk about The Housemaid without spoiling it.
Yeah.
So if I'm pretty sure I've been time stamping these.
Yeah.
So if you want to not know the twist to The Housemaid, jump over to the next review. But I think we're both saying low expectation, good time.
Yeah, fun.
Right?
Yeah, real fun.
I think we're both saying that.
Yeah.
So that's our thing for The Housemaid. Oscar, what's the plot?
Carl, get this. Sydney Sweeney, she is not just a woman out of her luck. She is in jail. Holy shit. 10 years. She killed a guy. Cold blood. Actually, was it cold blood, though? Pretty happy. It turns out Amanda, she's actually cray-cray. Uh-oh, no, she's not. She's actually been faking it. So the guy that she's married to, because he's crazy, locks her in the top, makes her do horrible, torturous things. She's now swapped out Sydney Sweeney's character for her, and then at the end, they need to save each other.
Yeah. So I think the good in the movie is Amanda Seyfried, who's absolutely elevating the film.
1000%.
If she was not there and there was a different performance, this probably would be a not recommend.
It feels very, not hallmarky, but definitely that sort of, it feels kind of cheap. And I feel like because you've got this A-list celebrity who's really elevating it, it does feel very campy and has like brought up so much further.
Yeah.
And I do think the gore is quite...
Yes, my cinema was squirming.
Yeah.
Having a really good time with the third act.
Yeah.
Getting super elevated. I think the movie is probably... It was hard for me to work out because I thought the pacing was fine and it definitely gets a good jump start after the twist, but I think maybe its third act is rushed. I think it all ties up very neatly, very quickly, and I think the book did that as well.
Yeah,
but I probably would have tried to shuffle it along a little bit further.
How so? Just in the sense of like that wrap up with the detective? Or
I think more so with, it's just, I guess, if you don't know also the conceit, the main sort of, the first intrigue over the book that the movie doesn't do is there is a lock on the door she's staying at in the house. And I don't think the movie does a lot with that.
It does look like the door's a bit like stiff.
Yeah, that's right. But it's very much a hanging plot over the book until she's eventually locked in there. And I think the moment she's locked in there in the movie doesn't hit as well as it does in the book when that finally happens and it transitions the plot. And so I think it would have been nice to have a little bit more cat and mouse happening in the third act. But it's very much she just tricks him going into that room really quickly. Yeah. It's like she pulls out all her hairs and then he's in that room. Yeah. It's like within 7 minutes or something in the film.
Stretch it out, I don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because I'm having a good time with it, it's also hard to know if because I knew the twist, the first half feels...
I think that's the thing. We went to a bunch of people who had all read the book and we were pretty much laughing immediately, very quickly, at just little points. The entire other audience was not... I guess, in on the joke, and I felt they had not read the book.
Yeah.
I can't feel smug about reading the most popular book in the world. I'll be like, guys, I've actually read the book.
Sold like 20 million copies worldwide. I read the book.
I also didn't guess the plot twist, so I don't know. I don't know why I'm just like, guys, actually, no. I read the Wikipedia article before I go into this, but I don't think it was very much. It was odd to feel the first 40 minutes. I felt like we were a bit like, everyone else was enthralled, you know?
I think, and I do just keep comparing it to Gone Girl because I just don't think this book would have been made, would have been produced and sent out had they not been like, we want the next Gone Girl. But I think what's great about Gone Girl pre its twist is there's a whole other mystery happening in regards to this scavenger hunt that's leading him around and he doesn't want the police to know the clues. Yeah. And that so there's these tangential mysteries sort of happening to intrigue you.
Whereas you really just have Amanda going crazy.
Yes,
and Sydney Sweeney being like, that's
this is a lot.
There's a lot. And she goes quickly insane. I feel like the book maybe gives it like, I don't know, a couple of pages. It feels like Amanda and me just like, I'm throwing milk on the ground. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Sydney Sweeney. I feel like she has not had a good PR 2 years. And I feel like finally she had like a good box office thing, and everyone's just like, Amanda sells it. You're nothing. You're nothing.
I think, and unfortunately, I think that is the truth. My review on this movie is when I was watching it, I was like, wow, both of these actresses aren't doing well. And then when the twist happens, you're like, wow, Amanda's amazing. Yeah. And Sydney Sweeney, I guess, just isn't doing well.
I feel like, yes, I definitely think that main character really is given nothing.
It's bad characterization for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's bland as hell for the sake of making the other character more interesting.
Yes.
Because in the book and the movie, when it flips who you're following, and you start following Amanda Seyfried, her character really opens up in an interesting way. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney's character never gets that. It's just
she's like, she's crazy, and I want to date the guy, and it feels very just like, oh well, this is not very interesting.
No, absolutely, but it is very fun, and I think it's really taken off as well because there's just not a great deal of good female media out at the moment. That's why Wicked really took off. And I think this has really caught people because I think it's just a good fun time. Yeah. And then on top of that, it has really good central female performances. And I think because I know they're doing the sequel and they're going to fast track that, I would be making sure that you're going to get like an Oscar nominated actress to play off Sydney Sweeney
each time. Yeah,
you 100%. Have to. I think is a really good pairing of going. Yes, we're always going to get a heavyweight like actress. Yes, to play across from Sydney. Because the sequel
is she now almost like not a detective, but she's almost like bait for these horrible men, and is that what that's?
I think the idea is she will kill a bad husband.
Great.
It's cool. Like or coerce. I don't know. Yeah. We're really just going off of... I'm going off of the blurb I read for the second one and the ending of this one.
And then I think our friend was like, oh, I read it. It's like, any good? She's like, no.
Yeah, apparently the best one is the first one.
Yeah, totally.
So...
the fact that she's like, you know what? This could be a good career for me. It's like, I don't know.
Well, it's like we went and then had a look at the author's other books and they're all just about like women being trapped in a room. Yeah. And you're like, oh, you finally got one to hit.
Carl, what did you give Housemaid?
I gave The Housemaid a positive 2.5.
I gave it a positive 3. I just thought, you know what? I had fun. Yeah. I thought the gore was that was genuinely, I was screaming my cinema, and that was so much fun to do.
It's also really funny. There was a moment when he pulls his tooth out. Yeah. And then has to smile at the camera. Yeah. And the actor plays it really well. And I got a really big laugh in my cinema. And I think that is the cheekiness that I think Paul Feig was able to
Totally.
Like, I think he at the right moment goes, everyone's going to be hating this guy. I think we should have a moment where he looks so foolish. Yeah. Like, and I think that played really well with the crowd. I'd like to take a moment to talk about Edgar Wright's film, The Running Man.
Yes.
Because I think we're both big Edgar Wright fans.
100%.
You have not seen this, have you?
I've not. I was very keen to watch it in cinemas. And then I think it was clashing with something at the same time. I can't remember
what it was. Really cannibalized just by other positive films coming out.
I feel like not even My Supreme, because it came out like a couple of days ago here. Yeah. My God. But there was something else. I can't remember what it was. But I was very keen, and then everyone was very negative towards it. Yeah. And then I think the most critique I saw was it's not an Edgar Wright film. I was like, oh well, that's why I'm here. Like, I don't mind what was the last one he just did? Last Night in Soho. That had elements of him. When it was sort of said it wasn't that, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to jump. You saw it. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I think with really, really low expectations, I thought it was going to be worse than it was. Mm-hmm. The first third of it, I think, is Edgar Wrighty. Like, a watered down Edgar Wright, but still Edgar Wrighty. And then I think as the movie progresses, it really loses its steam. Mm-hmm. But I was quite into the first third. Mm-hmm. The issue is it's definitely too long, and it gets very message heavy in its like third act. Yeah, and then has no idea how to wrap itself up. Gotcha. It feels like the book, I don't know this, so I am just hypothesizing, mm-hmm. so fuck me. But like, it's a Stephen King book, mm-hmm. and Stephen King books usually have more of a dreary end. Mm. And Edgar Wright movies don't have a dreary ending.
Yeah.
Like, that, for the most part, he is a very positive filmmaker by
Totally.
the end. They always end on a very, like, up moment.
Even Shaun of the Dead, which is a really bleak ending.
Yeah.
I feel like you get that, like, sort of, they're playing Xbox in the shed.
You know what I mean?
It's a bit
like,
cheeky, you know?
In the end, it's like, isn't this his dream?
Yeah.
That they're best friends, just always there to play. You know what I mean? And so I think the trajectory of the plot is heading towards a sad ending because of the original source material, and then Edgar Wright's trying to pivot it in another direction that now feels unnatural for the plot.
Yeah.
While I think the studio is also saying we need an explosive ending.
Yes.
And so there's these three things all fighting at each other at the end, and it tanks the movie in such a bizarre way. Like it really just it starts chopping and throwing itself around, and you're like, wow, this is unlike the rest of the movie. This is weird. And I think on top of that, Glenn Powell's miscast. And I think he has some good moments, but we're told Glenn Powell has a temper, and that's his whole thing that keeps him being a great running man and people being interested in watching him.
Marty McFly-esque.
Yeah, you know, and you're just like, I don't believe you're an angry guy.
I don't think Glenn Powell's been cast well for a very long time. Because they're like, he's an A-list celebrity. I don't know, you know?
No,
I really
don't
can't
think he is. I think he's picked the wrong movies. I think when he's picked right, Anyone But You was a good choice for him. And I know he turned down the new Jurassic World.
With Scarlett Johansson and stuff?
And I think he would have been perfect in that. That is the type of shtick. I think he's good with glossy blockbusters. I think he's almost like...
We liked him in Twister. I feel like he had a bit of like a sort of dickhead edge.
I think he's kind of Chris Pratty. Like early Chris Pratt when he popped up as an A-lister and you're like, you're in these glossy blockbusters and you're just charming enough that you're getting by.
Totally.
When it's meant to be a bit more gruff and it's like a violent movie like Running Man, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Granted, though, Glenn Powell's in that new How to Make a Killing, and I think he looks really good in that.
He does.
So I'm not writing off Glenn Powell, but I think this was one of those things when Glenn Powell was really on the rise. Producers were like, you have to cast a current A-lister, and I think they were like, well, we can get a bigger budget with Glenn Powell, and thus miscast the movie.
Yes.
I would still say it's worth watching.
Okay,
I would watch it on a plane. I think it's a 3-star film.
I'm pretty keen to watch it. Just real quick, the premise is that they're making money to stay alive for 30 days. Is that what the rough thing is?
Yep. So, and the more you can stay alive, the more money you bank.
Cool.
And the more people that you kill that are hunting you, you also get money for that as well. So the first third really is very good.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was really into it, honestly. And I think the action in it as well is really good. It's a shame it's an ugly film. You'll watch it and you'll be like, this sucks that this isn't a pretty looking movie. And if it was pretty, probably would be up another half star. If it looked like Last Night in Soho, holy fuck. I'd be like, this is the shortcomings of the script and the casting would be saved by a visually stunning film. But it's a really bland looking movie.
Yeah, like I'm not like the biggest Baby Driver guy, but I like you watch that whole thing. I'm like, I'll watch the scene on YouTube. It's all just so much fun.
It's really energetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw the scene with him running down the hallway and the things flying around. And it was a bit like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That scene works better in the context of that's 3 minutes in the middle of like a 17-minute action sequence.
Cool.
And that's like, but then that's its biggest action sequence, and then it doesn't have that again. Yeah. So it's really odd, and then there's suddenly a character introduced in the third act that you're like, you're sticking around now. Odd choices. There's just a lot of odd choices in the movie. Shocked it got made the way it was. If I'm being honest,
it feels like almost Edgar Wright being like, I kind of need a big hit so I can make something else. You know,
I can understand why this would be right for him.
Yeah.
It seems like studio interference and the budget being too big is the big issue. When you're making a movie for over $100 million, they've got to be like, you need to...
Yeah.
Also, you'll watch it and you'll be like, I don't know why this movie is as violent as it is.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you watch a movie where they've gone, we would like to make a violent movie. And then the actual tone and the characters they've done, you've sort of gone, why are these people dying so violently? This doesn't actually feel in keeping with the tone.
Well, I feel like it's like almost like a hangover of like Deadpool-esque. Just like, what do we make? All the teens will come in and try and sneak into our cinema, and we'll watch that. And it's like, well, I don't mind it being PG. Go crazy.
You know how it's like Hot Fuzz makes sense being really hyper violent, like because it's so in contrast to the quaintness of the town.
Yes.
But then it's not like The World's End is the most bloody movie all of a sudden. It's actually pretty toned down.
Yeah. Well, it's all that like there's got like
it's a lot of fake violence because they're
blue,
robots,
and it's like a bit more cheeky.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, but imagine if they, for whatever reason, were like, now we'll just make because Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz were violent bloody movies. We'll make this one a violent bloody movie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually match that tone.
Totally.
So, and that's why I think the ending of The World's End works when it gets kind of sad.
Yeah.
No, because you haven't been watching people die violent, bloody deaths.
Yeah.
They've just sort of been killed off camera.
Well, they almost become like zombies, which is almost sort of ties into like the whole sort of theme of that one, which is quite good.
So, yeah.
Great. What'd you give it?
I give it a 3 out of 5.
Carl, I finally watched Mickey 17. It's been a hot minute. I feel like everyone was like, oh my God, I can't wait for his new film. And then it came out and everyone was like, yeah, you know? And I feel like now it's been, a year? Probably maybe longer.
Yeah.
And the dust is all settled. I was like, finally, I can jump in. And thank God I did. I feel like the hype of like Parasite and just like Robert Pattinson would have been a bit too much. I can understand why everyone was so, I don't know what the go is here. I really enjoyed Mickey 17. For those who don't know the plot, he is on Earth. I think it's like, 60 years in the future, maybe even more. And he's essentially signed up to be this guy who can die over and over again. Only one spaceship can have one. He's essentially like the grunt who will do all the shit work. And it's pretty much him dying over 17 times, and then finally he gets essentially a double up, which is illegal on a lot of countries because it fucked up, and it just sort of play into that. I really liked lots of it, and that's why I've given it quite a high review, but it is tackling a lot of things. I think the problem is I really like the conceit of he's a twin and now he's trying to hide it, and it is odd. It kind of goes, actually, we don't really care about this. We're just going to focus on the Mark Ruffalo sort of killing the environment storyline, which is I also like as well, but was definitely enjoying the twin sort of hiding thing, and let's just see how ethically this can go into it. I like they sort of throw out like, what's the ethics of this in the first, 50 minutes? I just feel like they drop it, which I did think was a bit of a shame. Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I really liked it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would agree. It definitely tackles more than the film can handle. But have you seen a lot of his other stuff?
No, I've only seen Parasite and I think Snowpiercer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
because this is very.
What's is it
Okja?
Okja, yeah.
It's very Okja and it's very Snowpiercer. And there's one other one that I thought was very comparable to.
The Host? Is it the
Host?
Host?
It is. It's also very The Host, which is like you've got this dark sense of humor to it, but then there's like a blockbuster vibe, but then he's also got like a message for the Earth.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a lot more palatable if you're used to him having done that. I saw it with people that had only seen Parasite, and they were like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
And then the other people, I saw it twice, and the other people that I saw it with, who have also seen all of his filmography, were like, that's a very Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's
Okja vibes in this bad boy.
Yeah, I think he's definitely balanced this tone better in other movies, is probably what I would say.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for him to do in English. Like, he's obviously not a fluent English speaker. Every time he's doing interviews and stuff, he has another person there translating. And so I do wonder what is lost in translation, because I think Parasite's way more nuanced than a lot of his other stuff. I would just say, like, anything that is in his original language, Korean. Anything that's any of his movies that are actually in Korean are his strongest films.
Yes.
So that's just the nature of him adapting and directing to other languages. But I think this is like a really fun elevator blockbuster.
Totally.
It looks great. It
Oh my
moves
God.
really well.
Yeah.
It is really clever, and I think Robert Pattinson's doing a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, he's so much fun. That like Steve-O-esque accent he's
Yeah.
doing, really cheeky. I think I love the conceit that the clones are slightly off.
Yeah.
I like his girlfriend is like, no, I preferred 12.
Yeah.
You know? That's really fun. I feel like Robert Pattinson's playing them all really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed everything. I think just it being like, we're gonna save the environment, not a bad thing. Happy for that, but you definitely had something really interesting I was loving, the clone printing and the ethics of all that. I love the sequence of essentially the horrible murderer guy on Earth who banned cloning because he had like 3 alibis. That was fantastic. So cheeky. I do think I like Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette's character. I think he's just doing Trump, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I think I really like how big they are. They remind me of being from like a Studio Ghibli film. Like I think they're doing those
So
sorts of big
cartoonish,
performances.
yes.
Especially at the end. I remember I saw it in a PAX cinema opening night when they've got sort of like people hanging by ropes and they're being held and stuff. Like the cinema was like gasping when like certain things were happening, and that was really enjoyable too. I haven't seen it since then, but I do think this is like a really fun. And honestly, not a lot of movies are like this.
No,
you don't get these $120 million movies.
God, and you're never gonna get again.
No, you're not. And I mean, this is an adult film as well.
Yeah.
So it's it feels really like this isn't for kids.
No.
But this does have a budget.
Totally.
Very like One Battle After Another, I guess. When you're like,
I feel like One Battle After Another definitely has the tone of like an adult film, whereas this like these little like slug maggot
that's
things,
right, yeah.
and they're just like aren't they quite fun? I do think the end teaser of like Toni Collette sort of being in his dream was probably my favorite part because I'm happy for it to be a bit ambiguous. This ending, you know, I felt that gave it a lot more.
Yeah.
But no, very much liked it. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I also gave it a 4 out of 5. Going to talk about a little movie that's getting released shortly, and it was at the Sydney Film Festival, and I missed it, and then it got chucked on distribution for Letterboxd.
Yes.
So I watched the movie It Ends.
Oh, great.
Which is, I'm just going to say, because I don't want to talk about it too much, because this is a movie I knew a very, very rough idea of, but you're best to not know any. Shot for cheap over multiple years. Really, really independent. Essentially just a 4-person cast. If you liked the movie Coherence, it is like a Coherence.
Great.
And
that's the one with the ping pong paddle on the front. Yeah.
Just loved It Ends. Really thoughtful, genre bendy. Yeah, I hesitate to give too much away because I think if you just don't know anything, it's such a good ride. But know that it is independent, so it's not going to get big.
Yeah.
I think is the best way. I saw some people being like, this doesn't really lead anywhere. And I'm like,
they did.
It
couldn't.
It couldn't, but its ideas are fucking huge.
Sick.
So that's like a really, really high recommend.
Was that the one on the Letterboxd store? I've been quite honestly at the start, a bit like, oh my god. I mean, honestly, they immediately released all of the Breathless director Godard's film on there, and then I just saw they had the Golden Spurtle, which was a great documentary from Australia. I don't know if that's just in Australia or if that's the whole Letterboxd. I don't really know exactly how it works, but honestly, they're nailing it. Good for them.
I think it's not that they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it is per country how it's being done because there's different distribution rights.
Yes.
And I know It Ends because people were complaining that I think to rent It Ends is like $25. But then the director was like, it's priced that way because if it goes down more, it loses distribution contractually.
Wow.
So he was like, it has to be priced at a certain way for it to still get a cinematic release.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting. I don't know the inner workings of that. But I know people were like, these are really expensive, but the idea is like, they're not being distributed. Like this is
them. We
them.
need all that money.
They need the money. And the director was also like, wait for it to officially come out and get cheaper by all means. He's like, I'm not forcing you to watch it now for that amount of money.
Yeah.
But I think if you've got a few friends and you got some movie friends and everybody wants to chip in like $4,
totally.
Like hell yeah, rent a movie from Letterboxd store. But
keep that going because that's has so far been great. Honestly, every email I got, I'm like, oh, damn, I did want to watch that.
And they did like Richard Linklater did a shelf as well.
Yeah.
Of like, these are the 5 movies that inspired my new film.
It was all good data.
Yeah. So
my sister wanted to watch that new film. I was like,
why?
Literally, I was just like, have you seen?
She would have hated that.
Oh my God. I was just like, I've not seen Breathless. Like, I'm not. And the problem is, it's the same with Mank. You know, I'm not going to watch Breathless and be like, wow, that's fantastic because it's one of the best films ever. And then have to watch essentially someone going, isn't that film good? I'm like, yeah, I just watched it.
Yeah, you
know?
can't Mank yourself. Mank, that is, you know, that is such a memorable experience for me. Did you ever actually get to watch Mank?
No, I didn't. Because I watched Citizen Kane and went, Jesus Christ, that's fantastic. And then Mank was like 2 weeks. I'm like, well, I'm immediately out.
Yeah, I think I watched it like the same day or the same week, and it was just absolutely horrible. So fucking clawing at my face during Mank.
Yeah.
Mank is easily one of my least favorite, like, award darling movies I've seen.
Wow, damn.
Like, I don't know why anybody liked it. I don't think anybody talks about it now. And I feel like if you even asked Fincher about it, he'd be like, what did I make?
I think, wasn't it?
What's on my resume?
He was, what? But wasn't it? I think it was because of his dad. I think his dad had written that script.
And he's like, and I didn't even touch the script.
Yeah.
And you're like, you should have.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking useless.
I was looking at a bunch, and everyone's like, there's a few people I've fallen Letterboxd with 5 stars. I'm like, no, goddamn.
It's not.
Way.
It's
You're rewatching.
So not. It's just
Maybe
Gary Oldman being drunk, just going, ah! And you know, he does the same performance in Slow Horses, but that's a spy thriller. And you're like, oh, this is great. You know? Like, just watch that.
Oh, goddamn. Mank, huh?
Yeah.
Big recommend. 5 stars on Mank from the two guys.
That movie, spoilers for Mank, but it like ends on Mank getting an Oscar or like it's like he gets an Oscar or a Lifetime Achievement Award or something, and the last 5 minutes is just a speech by Gary Oldman as him getting the Oscar, and you're just like, this is so indulgent and dumb and so pointless, and you're like, I don't even like this character. I'm glad he didn't get credited. Like,
and now I feel like I understand he wrote it. Like,
we get he wrote it.
Yeah,
but you watch, fuck it. It's just like, I dislike that film just a lot. It's gorgeous, but I dislike it.
Yes. I watched Birth, Nicole Kidman film, and the guy who directed Zone of Interest and the one with the...
My favorite thing is we never use a phone. We're always just like, and this is the knowledge off the top of my head.
I think it shows that, one, we are passionate about film, but definitely don't have anything. Jonathan Glazer, nailed it. All right. And that's from my head. That's from my head. This one I was pretty keen to watch it, and then as I clicked it, I went on the reviews, and it has poor Rotten Tomatoes score and a poor IMDb score. But like, oh, okay, not sure what to get, but I'll commit to it. Sure, whatever. The premise is that Nicole Kidman's husband has died, and then 10 years later, a boy rocks up and goes, "I'm him." And essentially, Nicole Kidman and her soon-to-be husband and her sort of socialite friends, it's like set in New York. It feels so Eyes Wide Shut and just so sort of eerie. She's sort of like, don't be silly, boy. But then the boy keeps saying things that only the husband would have known. And like, I immediately was in. Immediately.
I gotta tell you, this is a really good hook. It sounds like a little like Twilight Zone episode or something where you're like, I bet this is how long is the movie?
It's like 90 minutes.
It's perfect. That's what you want to hear. I'm sold. I will watch this for sure.
Great.
Keep going. You've got me in the palm of your hand.
So fantastic. I won't spoil it, but Nicole Kidman gives this, I think, like one of her best performances. I couldn't believe. I do understand why it is a bit poorly reviewed, because there is sort of this odd relationship between her and the boy. I don't think it is like sexual or anything, but it definitely, like, she's trying to fall back in love with essentially this idea of her husband. And God, there's a couple of things at the end you go, damn. But just her giving fully into this, I think, is the best part of the film, because it's just about like love and grief, and I just loved it. I won't spoil it. Big recommend though. Fantastic. Jonathan Glazer, who knew? Everyone, it seems. I've actually loved every single one of his films. I need to watch The Zone of Interest, but I've watched Sexy Beast.
Yeah.
And I also need to watch Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my god, yeah. Under the Skin is phenomenal. That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's one I definitely very much want to rewatch.
Yeah.
You know when you watch a movie, you don't think too much of it, and then you just think back to it over the course of a couple of years, and you're like, I think I really loved that. Yeah.
I love those ones. I think Birth was the same. I was a bit like, wow, that was great. And then so just when I called my partner, I'm like, I love you. Just, oh my God. I
don't know if it's happened to you on this movie, but a movie from last year that I don't think I thought too much of when I watched it, but I've definitely enjoyed every time I've thought back on it, was Josh O'Connor's The Mastermind.
I also feel pretty bad about that. I feel like I was a bit like...
Well, just doing its own thing at its own pace. And it's really unlike anything else I saw last year.
Yeah.
And it looks... and it's really well acted. And it just unfolds in such a...
That's starting, like... I think it's like 30 minutes of them staking out the bank robbery. And then coming back. And then sort of just doing it a bit shittily. And then just letting that whole unfold is just great. That soundtrack as well. Just that... I feel like it's like just a...
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
It would probably be like... I think when I saw it, I gave it a 3 or a 3.5.
Yeah.
And I think that would probably be in like my top 10 favorite films I saw last year.
Yeah.
Just in how much I've ended up being like, that was really good. And I've ended up recommending it to people just because it is so... It's also such a quiet movie.
Quiet movie, cozy, but like not in a cozy way. Like it's kind of like Uncut Gems, stressful, but you're just like, but we're in a cottage, you know?
Yeah, that's right. And you're just like, wow, can he just get out of this bind? And he's just, what an interesting character to be at the forefront of. You're so used to intelligent characters in film, that to have a lead make such poor decisions, and you go, wow, you're a fucking idiot.
I feel like I can't remember what my review was. I feel like I either praised the casting. I was like, it's crazy to get Josh O'Connor, but like, what a great get, because you're just like, well, he's gonna nail it.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't.
I know.
Oh, God.
And I really loved it too, because I think Josh O'Connor also had one of my favorite performances last year as well in Wake Up Dead Man, and they couldn't be more different roles.
Yeah,
and I think that really goes to show a depth that he's got as an actor.
Yeah.
Like, he would easily be my favorite young actor working today.
100%.
And I'm sure lots of people agree with that.
Yeah. What's that Paul Mescal one? I feel like he's recently in.
The gay one?
Yeah. Yeah. You can say
I
that.
can say it. It's like the sound and I think people are like, it's bad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Damn. I think, yeah.
You can never tell. I'm sort of like, that poster looks good, and some people go 5 stars, and
I think people are like, this is like awards baity gay.
Yeah,
you know, man. Paul Mescal loves playing gay.
Yeah, I think it's to the point you have to go. Okay, I mean, he played. I was gonna say the Gladiator one, but that's pretty gay as well.
He's really gay. He's in those little shorts and just flirting with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
that's Gladiator too. And people were like, we don't like it, and I'm like, guys,
this is riveting stuff. Ridley's like, I got 70 cameras pointed at Paul and Pedro fucking chatting, and I'm 78 years old.
Now bring in the CGI baboons, and you're like, what is Gladiator 2? And then for whatever reason, Denzel Washington's doing the campiest and best fucking performance in the movie. Gladiator 2. Not worth a watch. What would you give?
What I give Birth? Honestly, I gave it a 4, and by honest, it's seeping in my mind. It's gonna probably creep up to a 4.5, and maybe in a rewatch, a 5.
Wow.
Bam!
Wow.
That's Glazer for you. Honestly, I feel like he's in that same. I don't think Kubrick, but like just how he's crafted it. I want to rewatch it again. I feel that's the best kind of director.
Yeah.
Watching it a second time, it only gets better.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
The Bone Temple.
I think this movie is phenomenal.
Hells yeah.
Simply, what an incredible movie. It is bombing.
Mm-hmm.
I get that it is paying for the sins of how disappointing I think a lot of people found the first 28 Years Later.
Mm-hmm.
I also did not like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think broad strokes, it's fine, but I think Danny Boyle does his Danny Boyle shtick and brings the movie down, but Nia DaCosta's come in.
You know a Boyle head?
I don't think I'm much of a Boyle head.
Wow.
I think I think you'll watch 28 Years Later and you're like, God, just the archival footage and like the needle drops and his overuse of Muse.
Suddenly I'm in.
It's just...
That is such a... I feel like he's just 70 and that just feels like, you know what? I get it. You know, just like, I like the stock footage from the war. I'm like, yeah hells yeah.
It's... I think the world building in the first one's really good. I think Alex Garland's potentially written a really good trilogy, and his script shines specifically in the second movie, in The Bone Temple.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
And so I think it maybe does fall on Danny Boyle, who has, if you were to consider rankings, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like you've got an Alex Garland script, but then Danny Boyle's directing. So Danny Boyle can sort of influence the script.
Yeah.
Whereas then Nia DaCosta, who's more of an up-and-coming director, comes in, and Alex Garland's way more established. She's probably not going to pull rank and change the script too much. And so I feel like the script's really at the forefront of The Bone Temple.
Yeah.
And it's just an incredible look at Satanism versus atheism, and it builds amazingly on the first film. I think it makes the first film a good movie. And I don't think the first one's
first film being 28 years later. Yeah,
like
gotcha.
the payoff of all of the stuff that I had no realize was being set up to pay off here.
Yeah,
was just amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
And I think
had they planned for it to be like?
Well, I think they shot this immediately because it's all the same sets and everything. And I guess if they're all built, it's like why not? Ralph Fiennes, his best performance in his career.
Wow.
And I also think he plays the villain in Sinners, and he's the villain in this. So darkly funny, so intimidating.
Sorry, he plays the villain in Sin, as in...
Yeah, he plays... Do you know Jack O'Connor?
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Ralph Fiennes plays... Yes, yes, the vampire, yeah.
So he played the villain there, and he's the villain in this as well.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Wow, it looks so different. Wow.
Amazing. I was really blown away by it, and I think it's so violent and so tense, and it's like 105 minutes, so it fucking speeds by.
Yeah.
And... It all pays off really nicely as well. It's just a great time at the movies. Like my cinema loved it.
Yeah.
Just gasping, clapping, laughing. Just a great time. And I think hopefully this movie will find an audience and get its dues.
It's sure. Honestly, it's just so close to 28 years later.
Yeah.
That I was like, well, I can't watch that. I need to go watch the first one.
I think it probably stands on its own, but you would enjoy it way more knowing context.
Yeah.
And I think it's a real shame too, because I think personally this movie is what the first one's trailer promised me. And so it's a shame to get what I think I wanted out of a 28 Years Later movie.
Yeah. In the
sequel to 28 Years Later. And it sort of feeds into where the third one's going, but then Danny Boyle's apparently coming back to direct that one. And I'm like... keep Nia DaCosta's vibe going. Because she does needle drops.
Yeah.
And they work really well here.
Yeah.
And she also has a really funny sense of humor where there's a relationship between Ralph Fiennes and a zombie. And in the middle of the movie, it's played as a romantic comedy. And it's just
That's very
a
cheeky.
really odd way to handle it. And it just really lands. And you go, wow, the confidence for you to take it this way and handle it in this direction really sells you on the character and the zombie. So it's
Boyle would never.
I think he'd just be more obvious about it. It's like, I don't mind 127 hours, but in 127 hours when he's sawing off his arm and it's making like the operation noises from the game, from like the board game, and you're like, this is just so obvious.
Yeah.
He is very obvious about what he's doing. There's a scene in the first 28 Years Later when the boy and the dad are going out for their first hunt, and it's like all of this military overlay and stock footage and noise, and you're like, yes, I get it. They're going out to the battle. Like, it's just so... I don't know what you think you're doing is adding to this right now, other than overly informing me that this is
war.
Well, hasn't this society regressed back to like here now? And you're like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's Britain, but worse. It can't get it. Literally, my God, just kill me now.
So yeah, I just think such a high. I would love for you to go and watch the first one, and I would like to try and squeeze this into seeing this again in cinema because the sound design in it.
Great.
It makes it so violent.
Yeah,
so fucking violent.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Really high recommend on that. I think I gave it a 4 when I came out of the cinema. I think a 4.5. Oscar, I think
Yes.
beginning of last year,
Mhm.
you and your partner
Mm-hmm.
were like, we're going to try and watch a bunch of John C. Reilly movies.
God fucking damn it.
How do you think you went? Where do you think you landed with this?
That's really brave of you to ask. It's even brave for me to answer. It was, I think the vibe, the reason why was like, John C. Reilly, I think famously has the most best ratio of Rotten Tomato score. Like, and that's quite a unique actor, because I feel like he plays like a lot. He's famous for very comedies, but he's also in like a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson films. He's picked a lot of interesting projects. So we're like, you know what? We've not seen a lot of his filmography. Let's try and watch every single one of his films. We started immediately. We're like, hells yeah. We go through all the short films. We're feeling pretty fucking on top of it. A lot of them are sort of behind the scenes of like either Step Brothers or just like vague PTA movies that he's just doing a little short thing. Very funny. A lot of Adult Swim stuff. Like his, I can't remember his character's name, Steve something. Very funny, very cheeky. It then gets into sort of, okay, let's start hitting it. We start with Dolores Claiborne. That's on us. Not great. Dolores Claiborne is Kathy Bates' character, sort of investigating a murder. Bit grim. I think it's a Stephen King. John C. Reilly is in the background. We immediately start losing steam. I think there's the problem. The problem is we're like, oh, wow, he's got so many good films. But realistically, you don't really want to watch like a PTA on like a Tuesday night. That's not saying PTA is a bad one, but like, you know, I'm not watching Boogie Nights like on a Tuesday.
You're not doing a Magnolia on a weeknight?
Nay. But
on a meat and 3 veg night?
But then you're also like, oh, I don't want to burn through Step Brothers. That's such an easy one in the can. So then you're sort of sitting in this middle section. You're like, I guess I'm watching either Dolores Claiborne or the weird F1 movie he did that's, I can't remember what it's called, but it's Tom Cruise is in it. So we immediately start losing steam, and then immediately are now sort of like, I'm now wanting to watch a bunch of PTA movies on my own. And she's like, no, we can't watch that. So essentially, I've not watched any Paul Thomas Anderson movies in the lead up to one battle after another. So it's just been an absolute headache. It's been a mess. And quite frankly, can't wait to do it again this year with Kathy Bates. Or Dolores Claiborne done. If you were to do an actor like that, who would you jump on?
Well, look, so the reason I bring it up as well is because my partner and I have decided to do the same thing.
Great.
But we've decided to do it with Tom Hanks.
Look,
Because much shorter filmography.
Yeah.
Because he essentially only does 2 films a year, you know? And we also went through his filmography and we picked about 30 movies out. And we were like, what don't we want to watch and what do we want to challenge ourselves to watch? Because I think we looked
Greyhound is right at the top there.
Yeah. You know what? I think we saw what you did and saw you run out of steam.
Yeah.
And saw you make bad choices.
Yep.
And we were like, let's not. How do we think we could finish this in a year?
Totally.
And I think we're going strong.
Hit me. What
And
do
so
you got?
we've also decided we can only do it in order of release.
Great.
So
cool.
it's just.
So you're getting his like. Not even his like sort of comedy, like Turner and Hooch sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Even like earlier, I think what has he got?
So
like,
we started with Splash.
Yep.
So I've never. Had you ever seen?
No.
Yeah. So which is Tom Hanks falls in love with a mermaid.
Great.
I guess the original Fish Out of Water movie maybe set that like it's
Wow.
actually one of those things where they're making jokes where you're like, God, every movie's made this joke, but I guess you're one of the earliest like hit
you got
ones.
it. Yeah.
Ron Howard as well. Like it's
Great. Did it make a lot of money? I feel like it famously made
it
loads
was
of...
a big hit.
Yeah.
Big hit in
Yeah.
America. Yeah, so the movie also created the name Madison.
Which is crazy because you go to Madison Square Garden, you're like, oh
Yeah.
no, but no one had done it. No one had done it.
They were like, it popularized that as a name.
Yeah.
So, which is just crazy it was that popular.
Yeah.
And also it's like one of those things where you're like, wow, young Tom Hanks is charismatic as hell.
You understand
Like-
why it's almost odd because I feel like we grew up in the sort of Tom Hanks Oscar sort of
bit
like,
older.
bit honester. He's done his stuff, he's done his dues, and now he's fucking nailing it. In my mind, I'm like, Tom Hanks is like an Academy Award winner. So when it's like I see him like in the Burbs, you're a bit like, wow,
What are you doing here?
Yeah, what the hell?
He is so effortless. I think that's the thing where you're like, it looks like you're not even trying to do what you're doing. Like it looks, I can see why you just took off.
Yes.
Because also young Tom Hanks would smash. Like, that was the thing when I was like, whoa, I'm attracted to Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's great. That's great stuff.
That was huge.
But I feel like he's not even goofy, but he's definitely just like, he's got a bit of a wiggle to him, you know?
Absolutely. I think he's coming in with his own unique performance, and that is, it feels really fresh for the time. He's great at yelling.
Yeah.
And he's great at physical comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing for a lead actor to be coming in with Hollywood. And I mean, there were obviously lots of comedies at the time. So I think it was people were working out their way of what comedy was working in a mainstream sense. But his is really working.
It's just funny because I put him in almost like, I feel like sort of like a Jim Carrey-esque, you know, performance.
Yeah.
So it's funny that like I don't think he has that like, I guess because he's just done so much prestige films that he's lost that comedy. But then he does like SNL and stuff, so he's very good.
Well, so then we did Big, and I hadn't seen Big in a few years.
Yep.
And he is fantastic in Big.
Yeah.
Like, you really feel like he is a kid.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's riding a bike, just like a kid, frantically.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. It's like his mouth's open.
And you're like, wow, you really just are exuding it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about the movie Big is it's written by Steven Spielberg's wife.
Yeah.
Or I guess wife at the time.
From Indiana Jones?
No.
Or the one before that?
Maybe the one before that. And she never wrote a screenplay again.
Yeah.
And one of the things is as you get older, the conceit is weird that obviously a woman falls in love with him. Mm-hmm. But the movie does so good that when you're watching it, you don't think it's weird. Yeah. It's only on reflection. I think that's a real talent.
100%. I mean, that's the power of film.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just sort of like, I believed it, so I guess I'm a monster. Yeah. But for those 2 hours, God, what a rush.
It's also, have you seen Big?
No, never. Okay. I love the piano scene.
Well, but the piano scene's amazing in it. But one of the things that they do in it that they would absolutely never do now is the mum of the kid that's turned into Tom Hanks is in a drama.
Great.
And they set her up. It's like her child's been taken by a man.
Yep.
And she is horrified and sad and worried. And like, there is like a scene when he feels like he needs to let her know he's okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, you have to prove that he's alive. And he's like, well, just ask me something that only he would know. And it's like a song that she used to sing to him before bed. And it's like he sings it and it's sort of funny. Yeah. And it cuts to her POV and she is just crying.
Yeah, great.
And you're like, oh, they just would not blend the comedy and because she's in a realistic situation of the fantasticalness that is what he's
I think that is the problem. They've sort of dropped that sort of sincerity because it's like, no, let's do a bit of irony. We're all keeping the same tone. Where I just think back then they're like, we're happy to have these clashes. Yeah. And get that the audience will go, yep, I'm happy with that, you know?
Well, because it's realistic that she's feeling that way. Like, there's no other way to play that. Her son is missing. Yeah. There's no other way to play that. Or they'd find a really, really convoluted way for him to be like, I'm at camp for the summer.
Yes.
And you go, okay.
To avoid that. Because
they don't want to touch on it.
But you need that conflict. And that, I assume, like makes his performance that much better, you know? Yeah. He's all this carefree kid who doesn't understand what the actual tone of this whole thing is. You know?
And I think it's a really good movie about not wanting to grow up so fast. Great. Like, it's all he wants to do, and it's about slow it down, enjoy being a kid. Yeah. And the movie also, I think they also over-explain in films now, but the film is so happy to say this one little fantastical machine he walks up to and he gets his wish granted. And they don't explain anything. The machine's not plugged in. Yeah. And it's just it's like a little musical tone in the background. You just buy that there is magic here. And they don't explain it. And you know and they just set up the only way for him to change it back is to find the machine again. Yeah. And it's just as simple as that. Nothing else.
I feel like, and maybe this is a fault on us, but I feel like there is a bit of like an internet sort of like, well, how did that work?
Yes, that's right.
And, you know, maybe we're contributing to that. I hope we're not. Because quite frankly, when they do it well, you go, immediately in.
Well, I think that we contribute to that because when we see it in bad films, they haven't done the directing, the music, and the acting to make you just buy it and forget about it. So that's why we find a problem with it.
And God, we're good at it. We just had so much to it. No, but you're like, it is that. Like, it's a film. You have to essentially fool me. Yeah. And if you fool me, great, on it. Yeah. And I'm 1,000% more in. I'm like, great, love this. Okay, so you are doing Tom Hanks. Yeah. Are you Just I'm looking now on his IMDb. Surely you're skipping some things, but like,
So we have to do it in order of release, and we can't go more than one over.
great.
So
Are you doing the Burbs next?
so we're going back and doing the Money Pit,
Oh, great.
which I've seen and is a classic in my family household. Only found out recently, not a well-reviewed movie.
I'm looking now. It doesn't look good.
I think my parents probably just love it because it's just about a couple unraveling having bought a house that simply is a fucking money pit.
Great.
And and their relationship. And then we'll be doing the Burbs.
Great. Cool.
Obviously, I'm just in a trajectory because my partner's never seen Angels and Demons.
Oh,
And all
my
I
God.
wanted to do
Wow.
was watch Angels and Demons.
And like honestly, looking at his filmography now, I don't think we talked about it. What an insane choice for him to take.
I know.
To wear that dumb hair.
Oh my
Then
God.
Be solving the
Probably the biggest paychecks of his life, though.
Oh my God, yeah, literally.
He has a great filmography is the other reason we picked it.
I
is
am
he's-
looking here.
He hasn't got a lot of duds.
No,
Not until later in his career.
And you just sort of skipping like I don't know what Rapid Flyer is, but I mean, League
Yeah,
of
so we're doing... I can read you the list that we're doing. So this is... we're doing 39 movies.
yes,
So doing Splash, The Money Pit, Big, The Burbs, Turner and Hooch, Joe versus the Volcano,
cool,
A League of Their Own,
Yeah.
Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13,
yeah.
Toy Story, That Thing You Do, Saving
Just
Private
so you
Ryan.
said, I'm looking now as well. You're not really skipping any films at the moment.
No,
Now. You're
not
really,
at the moment.
You're pretty
'cause
much going.
The ones that I think we were... Because I haven't seen things like Philadelphia or A League of Their Own.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, I'm really keen to hit the... or Apollo 13,
Yeah.
which are big ones of his.
Yes.
That Thing You Do, Saving Private Ryan, You've Got Mail, Toy Story 2,
Wow,
The
you got
Green
mailed
Mile.
that late. That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
I really thought that was earlier.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say like 2 Oscar-winning things. Like I'm gonna nail it with Meg.
Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, The Da Vinci Code,
Oh,
Charlie
you're
Wilson's
gonna
War.
you're gonna simply love the Terminal.
I love The Terminal as well.
Everyone fucking hates the Terminal, but quite frankly,
I think everyone secretly loves The Terminal.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
what
good.
I reckon. Angels and Demons, Toy Story 3, Larry Crown, I'm very excited
Whoa,
about.
you skipping Lady Killers?
Yeah, I'm not
You
watching Lady
simply
Killers.
will I? No, you should.
I've seen it.
No, but your partner should watch it because, quite frankly, that is Tom Hanks's craziest
It
performance.
is a crazy role.
Watch
We
the
may do
YouTube.
it. The Cloud Atlas, Captain Phillips, Saving Mr. Banks, Bridge of Spies, Sully, Inferno, The Post, Toy Story 4, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, News of the World, Finch. I've never even heard of Finch, which is it was like Apple TV.
No, it's like a chappy, like,
Yeah.
but like not a sequel, not a prequel, but it's definitely his thing. you know?
Yeah.
No, that's huge.
Finch, and then A Man Called Otto and The Phoenician Scheme.
Well, you're missing Elvis. Have you guys both watched?
We've
Elvis?
both seen Elvis. I
Yeah,
don't think
fair.
any of us are compelled to.
I mean, you're doing A Man Called Otto, so you're definitely not.
And we're not doing Greyhound. I was like, I don't want to
Oh,
watch
come
Greyhound.
come on! Apple TV's Greyhound.
I will say, if you do want to look at Tom Hanks, I also think one of his craziest roles is Elvis. I think he goes fucking broad in Elvis.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. It's a pretty
so
good.
fun.
Yeah.
I think it matches the tone. Everyone mocked him for it, but quite frankly,
I think he knows what he's in.
Yeah.
I think he's like the...
I'm reading that out. Like, quite frankly, he deserves a bit of a fun one, you know?
Absolutely. I think people would mean... I'm like, I think when actors go broad, they're not given the dues that they do.
Also, watch Elvis. That's an insane movie. Like,
Yeah.
some of the transitions, you almost... His starting monologue, and the snowman.
Yeah.
You know, I'm, like, happy for it. And quite frankly, he's so, like, evil, that character. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny that Tom Hanks like, fuck this guy.
Well-
I'm going to play him, like, essentially like the Penguin.
I don't know what he would have been told, but it's like it feels like Baz Luhrmann told Tom Hanks how the movie was going to be edited, and Tom Hanks was like, I know what I need to bring
He
them."
would have shown him the first, like, I don't know, 82 transitions, which happens in the first
Yeah.
30 seconds, gone, yep, I've got to play it bombastic.
Yeah. He's like, I want you to think of this movie as a constant newspaper spinning at the screen. And you're like, okay, I know how to play it.
God damn. Oh, great stuff. I'm very keen to keep catching in.
Keep
with you.
tabs,
I'll
keep tabs. And are you continuing your John C. Reilly? Do you reckon you're...
No, I'm definitely gonna watch all the ones I really wanted to watch,
Okay,
but
great,
did not
great.
watch because So I've got all the PTAs. All the PTAs. A lot of the Martin Scorsese's, and then probably like I don't know, Kong Skull Island, Never Been Kissed. That was it. Road to Thunder, which actually I did kind of want to watch. It's the Tony Scott one with Tom Cruise. There's a few here. But no, pretty happy to miss a few.
Yeah.
I did also want to watch the Hoffa one, which was Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito. No one likes that. But that just looks intense to me, you know? Carl, what a beautiful month.
Oh, this has been one of my favorite months.
Yes. People have been saying it. Jan 2026 / December. And a bit of extra.
I'm having the summer of my life. What can I fucking tell you? So I don't even know.
Things are good.
It's one of the reasons I'm watching so few movies is I'm having such a good summer.
Oh yeah, no guys, we're nailing it. Honestly,
Yeah.
outside of this, God, maybe we should drop film. I think we're done.
I think it's not doing anything for me anymore.
Of course not. It's
No.
not the highs. No highs.
But yeah, Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
Carl, we're starting old month next week.
We're getting old.
We're getting haggard. Our bones are brittle. But guess what? Our viewing habits, they're pretty youthful. So we're jumping back into some classic 70s, odd 80s films that Carl and I both are like famous, and then two that are not famous.
Now they're famous to me.
It was a Carl, and he's pushing them onto me. I think we're doing Bedknobs and Broomsticks. We've got Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in the works. We've got, and what are your freaky little ones you got?
$1 Million Duck, which is available on Disney Plus, so thus is a famous, easily accessible movie watched by millions. And Puffin Stuff, which I can't defend. Nobody's seen it, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. We're doing Puffin Stuff.
That's powerful. Old month. Get your freaking
It's old month. Get old with us.
Get old with us. Get haggard.
Seek those movies out and be like, what were
What
kids
the
doing?
hell?
What were they doing? Isn't it nuts? We're going from like, it's a real array. We've got an Angela Lansbury classic to an Oscar-nominated movie in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. To one of the most famous films of the 70s,
That's
$1 Million
what
Duck.
saying, yep.
To I want to say
A little film that could.
Yeah, I want to say who's the guy that created all the puppets?
Jim Henson.
Surely this was his inspiration. Surely Puffin Stuff was a major inspiration for Mr. Jim Henson.
I'm very keen to see the Kermit origins here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.